das clase,
¿Es de chupa-chupa, tío?
No, para chicas.
Hola.
Que están en directo, Mira, live. Una persona ahí.
Una persona
Una
está
persona.
viendo.
Yo creo que somos de live.
¡Illegal!
Gia lat Anna-Maja cute.
Sí, tiene que haber un montón. No. El invento tampoco.
Buenas tardes a todos, son las 16 horas. Tenemos el orgullo de tener ahora para el comienzo de la ronda al maestro internacional Piotr Tuchaszewski de Polonia, que es la delegación extranjera más numerosa en participar en esta edición. Good afternoon, everybody. We have the honor to have here the international master Piotr Tuchaszewski, which is from the Polish chess delegation. Is the delegation who bring here this tournament more participants from abroad. Please, Piotr, read the bell. Pueden comenzar.
G5, that's what's exciting. G5, that's what's exciting.
Hello, chat. Good evening. Hope you can hear me well. Let's see what is going on here. Okay, I joined as Anna's opponent, Hugo Uber Gracia, or well, something like that. Gracia or Gracia, maybe. I think the C is a th in. Plays his 12th move, knight of. Yep. Let's see what's going on here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Giant Pixels. Hello, Heraparent. I think it's Gracia, but I'm not 100% sure. So it looks like this has been an exchange love. Not really everyone's favorite opening. And because the pawn structure is so symmetrical, I think Anna tried to make it very exciting with all these pawn pushes. But now the question is, like, where do you find safety for your king? And yeah, the computer is not very fond of this style of play, let's say. But of course, the opponent has to actually punish it. What I'm noticing about this opponent, he really is like the opposite of Anna-Maja's style. Like, he never pushes any pawns, which might be the reason why he has not played h4 yet, which I think is like, if you want to punish g5, you have to play something like that. But he keeps, he's the kind of player who, develops the pieces, likes to play without many pawns pushed, so he doesn't have any weaknesses. No, the opponent is not a girl. The opponent is a guy, I think. I mean, his name is Ugo, which is a male name, right? And yeah, Anna's pawns might be a little bit overextended. On the other hand, they do look quite scary, right? I mean, imagine you playing with white in this position. You don't want to castle kingside because the pawns are coming that way. You would play on the queen side, but Anna pushed the pawns on that side as well. So basically, white has to find a concrete plan to punish these pawn pushes, and it's not going to be that easy, I think. But her opponent is very, very strong, like 2300. I mean, if he plays with this style, it means that he's very, very solid, like extremely hard to beat. And Anna is going kind of all in with black, which is usually not recommended, but we'll see. I don't particularly hate Anna's position yet, until white shows something concrete why is this bad. Because, okay, as people said in the chat, the c5 square is weak. I mean, sure, but how do you play to get a knight onto c5, for instance? You would have to maneuver something like short castle, knight e1, knight d3, knight c5. That takes a lot of moves, and black could try some kind of attack with h5, h4 in the meantime. It's not so easy for white to take advantage of the black weaknesses. However, the unfortunate thing about pawn weakness is that they are permanent, so they will always be there. So if white is maybe patient enough and plays correct defensive moves, he can take advantage of this. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out Esser as well, because the engine says that white is plus 1.1, at least on my computer. I'm not running it in very high depth. Might be higher in a good engine. But I mean, if I was white here, okay, I would think that, okay, this cannot be correct strategically. The b5 and g5. I mean, you have to choose one or the other, right? To one or the other side to play. And Anna is trying to play on both sides at the same time, which shouldn't really work. But on the other hand, like how to take advantage of it is not so intuitive. Maybe I would try to put a knight on e5. That I think that's why he's going knight f3. He's going to try and put a strong knight there. Attack the bishop. Maybe try to gain the bishop pair and later play some e4 or something like that. On the other hand, yeah, Anna could maneuver her knight to c4. Maybe knight a5, knight c4 is a plan. Ideally, Anna's ideal position would be maybe if she puts a knight on c4 and black decides to trade, and then she can take with a d-pawn and she will have a very nice pawn majority on the queen side that she can use to push to victory. Of course, white's not going to take there voluntarily, so that's not going to be an easy plan to perform. But yeah, black is definitely not without counterplay here. I mean, I wouldn't really put much into the engine evaluation because there is nothing concrete for white. White has to prove that this pawn pushes are weaknesses rather than strengths, and it's not that easy. I mean, I'm sure that GM commentating this game would be like, "What is black doing? Like, black is lost already or something." But I guess you guys are glad that I'm not a GM, and I'm not sure how to punish black's play here, like at all. And it seems that her opponent is also kind of unsure. He's down to 1 hour and 2 minutes. Anna is not way behind on time. I guess that's a good thing. But the game has just begun, basically. The game is still developing. Nothing has been traded yet, except for a couple of pawns in the opening. And yeah, it's what is going to happen. But yeah, I mean, it's typical of how playing. Like he also likes to play the Kohler system, which is basically the same structure without the with the c pawn on the board as well. But this setup with e3, bishop d3, knight f3, and knight e5, I guess, is his bread and butter. So, yeah. Hello, Vlad, by the way. Good evening. You're free to join whenever, basically. And tell us about your favorite opening, the Exchange Love. I'm sure you'll have to face that. Would be really nice. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. I will be here for like an hour and a half or so more. To join whenever. So yeah, Black's king. Where is Black's king going? That's a good question. I guess that eventually both sides will castle short. If white should castle short. I'm not sure about Anna. Like, would you really castle about on this side with the pawns pushed like that? Like you get some h. All hell breaks loose. Like you want to be able to answer h4 with g4. So let's say if black castle f5. Do you really want to play h5 there? I'm not so sure. There might be some f3 as well later. All kinds of kingside files opening up, and it's a bit scary to castle as black. Yeah, I'm sure that Anna would much rather have the same position, but with her bishop on f8, the pawn on e6, and the pawns on h7 and g7. Then she could, castle short and play on the queen side somehow. But now she has also pushed g5, which makes this a bit trickier. On the other hand, these pawns on h6 and g5, scare white from castling kingside as well. Because white always wants to be able to play h4 to attack the king, but white also has to be worried about his own king's safety. So it is, fly falls. I'm not sure it was prep because this is not really a theoretical opening. And also, I don't think Anna would knowingly prep into a line that is -1 for her. She would go for something that is more sound, probably, if she had been prepared. Yeah, b4 could be a potential idea for sure. We want to open files on the queen side. Ideally, we'd also want the other rook though to play there. So that's the problem always, right? I mean, when your king stays in the middle, it also blocks the connection between the rooks, which is quite important to being able to move vertically. Is that vertically or is that horizontally? I think it's horizontally on the 8th rank. With the rooks is always a plus in your position. Also, the fact that we have played h6 and g5 makes the e5 square for white much stronger, because you don't really want to play f6 here, because that would leave you with terrible weaknesses on the light squares. So basically means that if a white knight lands on e5, it's kind of like an outpost already. Knight h5 is also an idea. However, I'm not sure we really want to trade for this. Maybe, could be. Do we really want to trade? I mean, how would you protect d5 though? There's a lot of questions in this position. Do you play b4? Maybe b4 I would consider. Try to go. And that's what she goes for. Okay, nice. More pawn boosting. Let's go. Then we might as well, right? So the opponent probably has to take that. Retreating with the knight seems quite silly, especially with his king in the center. And, after b takes a3, b takes a3, the queen can come to a5 and give a check, possibly pick up the pawn. So white practically has to take. I'm sure he will figure that out. Wait, I'm blind. Wait a minute, I've missed a move somewhere. Yeah, because my queen. Okay, let me do that again. So black here, and white has played. Yeah, you don't really want to trade these pawns still. Yeah, for some reason I missed the queen a5 and queen d2. But he still has to take on b4, I think. You can't really allow the trade. The trade helps black a lot. Trade of queens also is not particularly bad for Anna here. Because her king will be much safer in the center of the board with the queen traded. And So when you play like g5, b5, b4, it doesn't really strike me that Anna really wants an endgame here. But still, I would expect that he is going to take on b4. Is this a hacked account? Which account? What do you mean? Do you mean I hacked? If I hacked Anna's account? No. She's letting me commentate. Also, yeah, Vlad is asking if some mod can drag him in the voice chat. So if anyone is around, maybe Bax is here. Happy birthday, Bax. By the way, always happy birthday to our number one mod, Bax Lion. But I think the mods left. They heard me commenting and they're like, oh, this guy again, man. I'm gonna leave. But yeah. My voice sounds
You're
so familiar. Wow.
bad.
Hello, everybody. Hello, stream.
Hello, Mr. Impaler.
Hello, Mr. Akchet. How are we doing? How exciting is the game so far?
I don't know. Fans of pawn pushing will really like the game. I'm a bit scared, but I guess it's to push every pawn in the position.
Yeah, we don't really have pawn breaks, to be honest. And this b4 is really just going for it, right?
I guess, yeah. Take all the space you can get or something. I mean,
Okay.
the opponent is really, keeping everything solid, like playing like some kind of collar setup or.
I need
I don't know.
to look at the move list because I'm just catching up with the game now. So let's see. There
Okay,
was
okay, sure.
d4, d5, c4, c6. Oh, takes. No way. What is
Yeah, I
this?
said your favorite opening.
Bishop g5 on move 4 is not a thing. He played bishop to g5 in the exchange, Slav.
Yeah, I guess like the point is to transpose into some kind of Trompowsky after knight f6 or.
But
I don't know.
bishop g5 just seems so odd, and I'm pretty sure that the move f6 should already give black a decent game there. Wow, this is
Yeah.
a new theory.
I think f6 was the engine. But I mean, if you don't really want to play f6, then it's kind of awkward to face this bishop, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. This bishop g5, I'd be extremely surprised to see this move by anybody rated, let's say, over 2200. Okay.
There was some games by GMs, I think. I saw some game by Drev and some Russian GMs played this line. Nesterov as well, and some other Russian guy.
Okay. I see that Peter Svidler faced this against Jordan van Forest and kind of promptly dispatched him by playing f6.
Okay. Yeah, I guess f6 is a amen.
Okay, well, it was not theoretical at all. It was very early. Oh, yeah, thank you, Lila, for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Yeah, I don't know what this position is all about. Hard to evaluate. It's probably equal, though.
What are all these pawn pushes doing? You're completely lost. Okay, no, but they say it's like +1 point something. Whereabouts? But I'm trying to see like where is White's advantage, and I struggle to find it. Like how would you try to punish the pawn pushes? It's
Yeah,
not
I don't
so
see-
intuitive.
I don't see any advantage, like, humanly speaking. And he takes the pawn. He takes on b4 right away.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, where does Black's king really go to?
Yeah, that's a good question. As Anna remembers, she can castle, or she has forgotten by all the times she kept her king in the center.
So one of our OGs here, Dan9, is a subscriber now. Wow, I haven't heard this name in a very long time on Twitch. So this is
True,
very nice to see. Welcome back, Dan. For those of you who don't know, Dan is indeed a very OG. He was here from the first few streams of Anna-Maja, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we have to take back, and she takes back with the knight. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay, interesting.
That's a bit unusual, as it allows the other knight of white to be installed to e5 easily. I wasn't expecting her to take back with a knight.
Yeah,
But
usually
first, white should move his bishop.
Yeah, bishop b1, yeah, right? I mean, it's
Yeah, bishop to b1 seems very logical.
so usually I see people. Well, I mean, usually I think you take with a knight on b4 if you want to install it on d5, but now you have a pawn there, so not really sure where this knight is trying to go. Maybe her plan is to play like bishop b5 and prevent castle, but looks, yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Bishop to b1 played. Oh, that's a pretty clever idea.
I don't know.
You know what's funny? Let me hit you with one of those cool, nice and simple tactics. So after bishop to b1 by white, let's assume that black were to play bishop to b5 indeed. Why is that a bad move? Why is bishop to b5 bad in this position after bishop?
Oh, that's bad. Well, because I suggested
Yes.
this, but let's say.
No,
Bishop
that
b5.
is not the correct. That is not a correct reasoning for why it's bad.
Bishop b5. Wait. Bishop c7 and queen c7, knight b5, and you lose the exchange, right?
Yes, bishop c7, nice and
There is
simple.
bishop c7. Okay, yeah. Hopefully he doesn't play into this.
So I guess rook to c8 then, yeah? Rook to c8 would pretty much negate the impact of this move.
Yeah, or you know, could make some move called a castle, but
Oh, I
I'm not
forgot.
sure
I
we
forgot
want
this
to
move
do that.
existed.
But yeah, rook c8 also looks correct.
Yeah, rook c8 seems very logical indeed.
But then one has time to castle, right? After rook c8.
I mean, you just play for the bishop pair and hope that white also castles. So you just go rook c8, short castle, knight h5, and hope that your bishop pair is going to cover for some of the pawn weaknesses.
Does this not hang d5? Copy.
Does it hang d5? Oh, yeah, it might.
I mean, the knight's pinned and the queen can take, but you take on b4 and you win a pawn.
Yeah, this might be an issue. Yeah. Okay, rook to c8 was played. Rook to b8 would be quite logical if not for the bishop on g3.
True, actually. It would pressure the pawn, but
It would go, it would be a good
unfortunately, you
move.
can't,
It would be a good move, but it was
really-
probably a miss.
yeah.
I think it was a misspell.
castles here, then the knight is a bit weird than before. We didn't really manage much. Maybe we have to bring it back even. Because there's always this knight
I wanna
xd5
play
ideas.
I want to play knight h5 if white doesn't castle here, although it's hard to say that white can do anything but castle, then I would like to play knight to h5 right away for black.
Yeah, makes sense, I guess. Wait, let's say white plays some round.
Yeah, white plays something random and we just play
Right.
knight h5.
Like, I don't know, h3 or something.
Ah,
Okay,
Hmm.
well, h3 allows bishop h2, so not so
it's
random.
not completely,
But,
it's not completely random, yeah.
What else could we? I mean, there's hard to find a move for white that is not castling. So maybe knight e5.
Yeah, knight e5. So in case of knight e5, I think I would like to play knight h5.
So knight e5, you want knight h5? Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. You cut out, or you cut out on my end.
I'm
sure.
getting it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's my internet or our connection
Okay.
between us. I don't, but you cut out there.
Okay, let me disconnect and connect again. Okay, I'm back. So I was asking, like, after knight e5, would you play knight h5?
Yes, I was saying that after knight e5, I would consider knight to h5 pretty clearly there. I don't know what black is really doing, and I also don't know what white is really doing in this position.
Okay, he castles.
As expected.
So now knight h5 loses a pawn. So what
Yeah.
then? e6? Do you ever want to play e6 here?
No, if I can save the tempo and eventually push e5 later on, I would like to save that tempo. I don't really want to move the e-pawn at all for now.
What then now? It feels very strange. Like you want to play knight h5, true, but that pin is very annoying. That's why I'm saying, like, maybe you have to play knight back to c6 or something.
Worst idea. Not the worst idea, knight back to c6. I quite like it.
Because if you want to play e5, you might as well have the knight. That's why I wanted to take the queen. It looked more normal. But whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think we're also going to castle here.
Maybe, yeah. Actually, yeah, now that white castled, this h4 idea is not so big of a deal, so maybe we can castle as well. True.
Yeah, I think this is the time. This should be the time to castle for black as well.
And is the long-term plan to push e5 here? Would you say? Okay, so it goes queen b6.
I think the correct thing to do here is to put a lot of pressure on the backward b2 pawn, but I don't really see a good way of doing that. So if I'm not able to play for pressure along the b file, then I don't really have any active plan for black, just sitting around and waiting.
So no e5.
No, that's a bit too. It's too weakening. It leaves you with an isolated pawn. I don't like it that much.
Yeah, that's always my problem in these structures. Like, I never really know what to aim for.
She got
But
the
okay, yeah.
imbalance. She got a bit of imbalance on the queen side. I mean, okay, white has a weak b2 pawn, black has a slightly weak a6 pawn. There is something to play for on the queen side.
So I guess castle short, bring the rooks to the queen side would be maybe a certain plan.
Yeah, eliminating the bishop from g3 and then playing on the b file would be my mini plan. Let's call it that. Eliminating the bishop from g3 would be the first step.
Maybe that's why she went queen b6 to prepare knight h5.
It's possible.
But now white, I guess a good move would be h3, right? To always have bishop h2 in case of, because you really want to keep that bishop. It's much better than the g7 bishop for now.
Well, I think h3 invites g4 in a lot of variations, so I'm not sure that white really wants that as long as the rook is still on h8 for us. So I think
but it's behind a pawn, right?
Yeah, I don't know if the g file opens and black can push h5, h4 soon after. I don't know. I think white will wait for h3 until black castles. But then black will not castle and play knight h5 instead, right? It's a cat and mouse.
Sure.
It's a cat and mouse type of game here. Yeah, it's very hard to believe the engine's evaluation here because there's no clear attack or clear plan. So +1 in this type of position doesn't mean so much, really.
And knight a4 has been played.
Knight a4, okay. Hold up. What am I missing? Oh, I'm missing that there are tactics.
Possibly going to c5, I guess.
Oh, I missed bishop takes a4, rook takes c8 is an idea. Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's, well, when you don't castle, that's what happens. So, yeah, that's a bit problematic, I guess.
I think we're worse now. I think we're actually worse in this moment. I realized that black is actually quite a bit worse.
Because the knight goes to c5, right?
Yeah. This is a problem. This is actually a problem. I guess queen to b6 was not too accurate then.
Yeah, maybe she forgot that this rook is not sufficiently.
Yeah, this is a problem, guys. So this knight a4 coming to c5 now is a big issue. You can't eliminate the knight. You cannot really challenge this knight.
Queen b5 played?
Queen b5. Okay, I don't like it. I thought the bishop should go to b5 later. Okay.
So I guess knight c5 will be.
Yeah, knight c5 is almost automatic here. He'll just play it.
What kind of French is this? Kind of looks like a French with all the pawns on the light square.
Yeah, this knight being installed on c5 so easily with us not having any counterplay yet is a bit challenging to face.
I guess her opponent is really one of these guys that, you know, really likes this type of, you know, putting knights on the outposts to playing like this kind of game, given his opening and such. I don't know. You're the professional scouter here.
Yeah. This guy is definitely not a typical 14-year-old player. Like, normally, the younger guys are known for tactical play. This guy is very much the opposite of that. He plays slowly, he plays for positional advantages.
So I guess this position is to his element then.
Yes, he will greatly enjoy grinding this position now. And of course, as expected, he plays the knight into c5 quickly.
Eating at the board, true. Yeah, not the most pleasing things to see on stream, I guess.
Wait, what's happening? He's eating at the board? Oh, he was. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not great. It's not great when that happens, especially when they have some sort of plastic wrap that makes a sound. Yeah, it's like you crumple that wrap and you can just hear it. So, okay, let's make a list of pet peeves that our opponents or arbiters or organizers could have. For me, the number one pet peeve is when an arbiter doesn't respect the players enough and they talk amongst them in a loud voice. Like two arbiters just having a normal conversation when the players are trying to play.
Yes. Is that normal in...
Oh, it's so normal. It's so normal here, and I get mad. I get so mad every time I get up from the board, go to the arbiter, tap him on the shoulder, and I say, "Hey, your loud voice is bothering me. Can you please tone it down?" I have no issue just walking up to the arbiter and telling them that straight up.
Okay. Yeah, it's not very common, actually. Like, usually, okay, the arbiters are friends with each other, but they talk outside or something, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be far more normal. I mean, the job of the arbiter, first of all, is to assure a fair play in the playing hall and not disturb the players. That's my number one pet peeve, and it just drives me nuts. Second is an opponent loudly eating something in front of me at the chessboard.
Okay. Well, the last time I had this, it was like a 7-year-old or something, so I just let him do that. But okay, if it was an adult, I would definitely tell him something. I don't know.
Makes sense. And the third one, and which might be a bit funny for long-time community members because they might be in on the joke, is when somebody repeatedly kicks you under the table because of the restless leg syndrome.
Yeah, that's not...
It's not the best. It's not the best feeling.
No, mate, I did not call the arbiter. I mean, the guy was so cute. Like, he was like, what, 1 meter tall or something. He was actually, like, rated 1650 or something. Which, I mean, at 7 is crazy.
Yeah, okay. A 7-year-old gets a pass because, you know, they're small and they're cute and whatnot. But an adult doing that would not be cute.
Yeah.
We have a comment here saying, please don't give away the under-the-table kick technique. Stop buying chessable courses. Start kicking your opponents. Plus 100 ELO guaranteed.
Right. So Anna has castled. Hello, Jim
Wait.
Solar. Welcome back.
I see that Hair Apparent is with us here in the chat. Hair Apparent, where are you currently located? Which country are you visiting after all? Things are unclear in my head. We have nice and simple GM Solver in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Hello, GM Solver. Bear suit attack. That is a very brave move of you, sir.
Oh, is this the guy who's saying about the brave moves?
No, this
Last time.
this is the nice guy who is trolling the other guy who talks
Oh, okay.
about brave moves.
I mean, that suits the name, kind of like what he said.
I mean, if you're wearing a bear suit and you start kicking somebody under the table, that's a definite advantage.
So it seems Anna isn't really worried about the bishop bear in that position, rightfully so. That bishop on d7 is quite terrible. So we don't really mind giving it away.
Yeah, of course, white will never consider capturing this bishop on d7 with the knight.
Yeah.
White will be very
Unless
happy to keep the knight on the c file for now.
Unless it wins a pawn, maybe, or something. I don't know. No, even then, you still probably want to keep the miserable bishop on the board.
Yeah, we probably don't want our pawns to be on g5 and h6, but prefer to have them back on g6 and h7 instead.
Yes, that's a good observation.
If we could move those two kingside pawns back one square, our position would be much better here than it currently is.
You've heard the saying, like, often in the Dutch, black's best move is f5 to f7.
Yes, this is yeah.
The same, yeah. It's kind of a similar situation, I guess.
Well, we shall see how the game evolves. I expect knight to e5 to be played here by white quite quickly, unless there are... Wait, are there any tactics? Nah, knight to e5 should happen.
Bishop e8, I suppose, GM Solver. I don't see any other move, at least.
Yeah, probably knight to e5, rook f. d8 is also an idea, maybe. I don't know.
Does this hang something?
Does that hang something? Maybe it hangs something.
Knight d7.
Oh, yeah, because things start hanging with check. Yeah, you're right, that hangs something.
Knight d7, rook c1, knight f6. Yeah, so you can't really do that.
Yeah, there's a check on f6, which
on knight d5, I think bishop e8 is forced. And then your rook is blocked. Or maybe bishop c6. But, okay. I don't really know what we want to do with that bishop, to be fair.
This is a maneuvering game now.
Well, white's pieces look great, but the question is, like, white has to, at some point, push a pawn. Right? F4 maybe, H4, something like that, right?
Yeah, F4 and H4. F4 and H4 are both decent pawn breaks for white. Vampire Rage Twitch. This kid plays very positionally. He's a good positional player.
Yeah, as I'm always saying, knight a5 followed by f4, and it's the pawn on g5 is not very exciting anymore. It's what's called a hook for the yes, the opening was.
Yeah, very strange opening that led to the current position on the board.
Right. The Jim Silver was saying that Mehmet Yarov has played this bishop g5 line.
Uh-huh. Okay, so Shakhriyar always going for the fun and interesting variations. Did we expect the opponent to play d4 and c4 on the first two moves?
I'm not sure. I saw some games with a call system and I stopped looking. I was like, okay.
I believed you when you typed stuff about Cole's system, and I didn't check any further to see if he plays main line. So I was like, oh, okay, he probably plays the Cole system.
He also had some e4. Well, I guess if you're only opening the Cole system, it's not very good, I guess. He also plays other stuff, but he spams the Cole a lot.
Okay. And that is from, you mean for OTB games, you're not looking at his Title Tuesday, hopefully, and saying that he spams the Collie system.
He also spams it in Title Tuesday, I think.
Ah, okay. The Collie system is not so bad in itself, but if Black knows what they're doing, they can equalize.
Yeah, I guess the feeling I got from this guy is like, okay, equal position, but I'm very solid and I will play in the middle game, or something like that.
He sends off that vibe, doesn't he? Yeah, I also think that Black is borderline losing here. Even f3 followed by pawn to h4 could be strong. Or maybe we go h4 first to provoke the g4 advance. I don't even know.
He also has some English opening in OTB. I see now. So he plays a lot of stuff, I guess. E4 also OTB.
He must be a young hope of Spanish chess. I mean, being rated 23 plus at 14 years of age is quite an achievement.
Yeah, I guess so. He broke 2300 this August. So
okay, so
6 months ago.
Recent joiner of the 2300 plus club. Yeah, it's not a pleasant position to play. I wouldn't want to be in Anna's shoes. And then again, if I was in Anna's shoes, I might be getting fined. So that's not really a good deal for me either way. Also,
yeah,
we can leak the information that Anna-Maja is not going to be playing in the World Rapid and Blitz this year, right? That's something that we know for certain.
Didn't she say that already, or is the list out and you are saying this, or what?
I think not only is the list out, but we also have confirmation that she's considering other events instead.
Yeah. No, but I think it was. Well, I think she said that on stream.
Oh, okay. So if she said it, yeah, okay, it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, there is a road to WGM, you know. World Rapid and Blitz does not bring you WGM norm. So
that is a good point. That doesn't really bring you any norms at all in Blitz and Rapid, so why play them? Also, New York during the holiday season is prohibitively expensive. Like, it's actually prohibitive. And
is this an open tournament? Or
No. I think you need to have at least 2550 on one of the rating lists in the open section. And in the women's section, I guess you have to have like 2350 on one of the lists.
Okay.
Maybe 2350. Maybe 2350 is too high. Maybe something like 2300 for women. I don't remember exactly.
So basically, it is like an open, but it's just some rating and above.
Yeah.
Like there's no like qualifiers or anything.
No. So if I look at the list right now, there are some local players from the United States rated around 2000 who are playing, female players who are playing. And the lowest seed is somebody from Uganda with 1626.
Okay. So I
Yeah,
guess like if you're a national champion, any time control it also counts. As James over is saying.
I suppose that is the point, because I'm also seeing Fiorina Berezovsky. This name might ring a bell for those of you who have watched the previous chess Olympiads. She was at some point the youngest participant. I see that Fiorina Berezovsky and her mother, Svetlana, representing Monaco, are both playing, and they're not very high rated. But that should be an interesting tournament.
I was wondering if Cabbage could play, but I guess not, because he needs to qualify by rating or something.
Probably Cabbage would not play, yeah.
3,000 bullet counts for nothing.
Sadly. Also, the entire Azerbaijan women's team is playing. I mean, there's Balajayeva and Beydulayeva and Fatalieva and Mamadzada. Wow, that is a lot of Azerbaijan players traveling there.
Also, they have wildcards, but they just give it to famous people. Average New York Spain, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. And GM Solver is also mentioning conveniently that the Polish women's team will also be there. So Kaszlinskaya is going to be there. And Stochko, Maltsevskaya, Klaudia Kulon. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Klaudia Kulon is a stronger player in the faster time controls compared to, let's say, Kielbasa or Slivitska. In fact, Klaudia Kulon might be one of the most dangerous dark horse candidates in these faster time controls.
Yes, it's she might beat 2600 randomly.
Yeah, she's very.
Don't really see that from a 2300 that often.
Indeed, she just plays fearlessly and always plays for the initiative. So that type of playing style gets handsomely rewarded in Blitz, especially. Also, it will be very exciting at the top. We have Zhu Wenjun and Lei Tingji and Tan Zhongyi all playing. So this will be reasonably exciting to watch.
I have zero clue which of the women is the strongest in Bleach.
Yeah.
The Chinese woman, I have no clue.
It will probably be the 4 Chinese ladies, yes.
Yeah, but which one of them is the big favorite? I have zero idea.
Okay,
I've only seen them playing classical, so.
So in Rapid, Wenjun is the top seed, and in Blitz, Lei is the top seed. So interesting. And then in the Rapids, was there a move played in Anna-Maja?
Yeah, Bishop E8 was played.
Bishop to E8 was played. Okay, that disconnects the rooks. And okay, there are no tactics yet, I believe.
Yeah, we were just worried about F4, I guess. And, opening up the king side. Question is, does a solid player like Ugo here go for F4? Or does he do something slower?
I mean, how can he further improve his pieces without playing either H4 or pawn to F4?
Yeah, that's true.
A positional player will always seek to improve their piece mobility and try to restrain your mobility. So I think it makes sense with his playing style to to open up the F file.
to play. Yeah. I mean, it's the thing is that Black hasn't really any. There is no counterplay. Like, where is Black's counterplay here? I'm struggling to see it.
Yeah, this game is definitely not something that suits Anna-Maja's style so far. Also, the World Rapid and Blitz in the open section will be incredibly strong this year. Everybody from the top 4 is going to be playing.
For sure, Magnus, Hikaru, Caruana, and Arjun.
Yes, all of them are playing.
But who is the top 4 in Blitz rating?
Okay, that's a good question. So right now in Blitz rating, we have 4 people over 2800. Magnus has 2890. Firuza has 2871. Hikaru has 2860. And Wesley So, very surprising. Wesley So is at 2803, just above Caruana and Dubov.
Okay. So I guess Magnus is going there to get 2900.
Yes, I think you can safely make the case that this would be Magnus's best attempt to crack 2900 in Blitz rating.
Yeah, it's true. Like, if he has a good tournament, he can actually do it. Because, there are people to farm. It's not like everyone is... Like, when Magnus was 2872 in Classical, then there was no one to farm, really, because everyone else was below him, like, a lot. But now, if there are people at 2850, or you can beat them and...
There are people like Bortnik at 2762 who have mostly been farming this rating in local Charlotte events. Bortnik at 2762 looks like an incredibly farmable player on that list.
I mean, he's very strong, though. I don't know. Like...
Online Bullet and Blitz OTB playing against the elite is very, very different. I think Bortnik is gonna drop a bit in rating. That's my hot take.
Okay.
But you can call it a hot take. It doesn't have
I
to.
don't know. He is the only player who has adopted me, so have to up him up.
Mr. Horse with no name. I cannot say whether you're watching a different game or you're just trolling. But saying White is trapped in this position is not the sign of a good chess player.
Maybe he's colorblind or something.
Yeah, maybe he's watching a different game.
Imagine if you saw like white as black and black as white. It'd be very confusing.
Yeah. That would be quite confusing. Saying that White is trapped in this position is quite funny. The okay response is definitely a Giga Chat response. Predicting. Oh, you're predicting that White is going to be trapped eventually. Wow, that would be nice.
Maybe. I mean, the game is not over.
Yeah, that's.
I thought yesterday's game was over, and then the opponents found some crazy ideas and saved it. So you never know.
This kid has the time management of an old man.
Yeah, true. We like that though. Like I think that if he's going to be with low time, then Anna can find maybe some counter chances. Because he's really, he's. I can understand him in a way because when you have to push a pawn, you really have to think, right? I mean, to not make any weaknesses or anything. Like if I want to play f4 here, I'm thinking, oh, maybe my pawn on e3 might become weak in the future or something like that, and then you overthink basically.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's funny to hear that you guys actually think when pushing pawns.
I'm talking about me, but I
never heard this. Never heard this.
B5, B5, no thinking. Just forward.
Yeah, I belong to the same level of players that doesn't really think when pushing pawns. And then eventually you come to regret this.
I mean, they never go back, right? So it's a one-way thing. If you want, to think about, do I put this knight on c5 or not? You can always do it later, but the pawn you cannot play. When Anna played g5, you cannot play g6. So it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
So let's turn the tables a bit and say, if you were white here, would you go h4 or f4? Which one would you prefer?
I would prefer to break the position with the h pawn. So I would play h4, try to provoke this advance to g4 with the pawn, and then I would be guaranteed to open the f file by playing f3. Because if you do it the other way around, if you play f4, Anna pushes g4, and then you play h3, you have accomplished pretty much nothing. So I think it's the f file that white wants to open for increased piece activity.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's my mindset, at least. That's how I'm thinking about the position. I could be entirely wrong, of course. We have GMs in the chat to refute my thinking.
No, I like this thinking. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. So I guess you would calculate here like h4, g4, f3, g takes f3, rook takes f3, right?
Something like this. Yeah. That's how my calculation goes right now. Whether
the question is.
Sorry, go ahead. I interrupted.
The question is, can we use the e4 square there? That's the question. Like knight e4 maybe, and try to get some counterplay. Maybe by sacking a pawn, but somehow getting active.
For now, that sacks a clean central pawn, so I guess it shouldn't work for black.
Yeah, but you I don't know. Well, yeah, it's not hanging the rook.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it just drops a pawn for now. Yeah.
H4 is the move that I believe would be high on white's radar to make here. I can also start our main friend Stockfish just very briefly to double check if that is the case.
I think Stockfishes both are good.
Yeah, it says both are fine.
But when you have two good moves, you think more.
That's true. That is very, very true. Do they get plus 15 minutes on move 40 or how much?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Okay, that's the same time control as in the Romania Grand Prix. The plus 15 minutes at move 40.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Really?
Is it like this in Arabs?
Yeah, of course. They always do plus 15 minutes.
Okay. So what is the point of not going to plus 30, but also not giving to 0?
I guess just keeping the rounds slightly shorter, but still giving players extra time for the end game. I'm not sure what the rationale is, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So Akjet, tell us, when is your next tournament, classical over the board?
No clue.
So
I have no clue. Basically, like no plans for now. But probably something in January or I don't know. There is this New Year's tournament that my club is organizing, but I'm not sure I'll play there. Depends how many high-rated players they have.
in the sense that if you have more high-rated players, then you will want to play, correct?
Yeah. But I'm also trying to keep my rating above 2,000, so that if there's an exciting tournament abroad with a rating cutoff, I don't have to grind back.
Makes sense. Yeah, January is not looking like a great move. Great month here for tournaments. So January is going to be an empty month for me, and then starting from February, it's going to be easier to find events to play in. We have a question in the chat about knight to h5. Knight to h5 would not be so effective if that bishop can move from g3. And we anticipate white will make a move that liberates that bishop slightly. So knight h5 will not be in time.
Damn it, I'm addicted to playing chess. I have to not give in to my addiction. To keep my rating.
I mean, not playing is the easiest way to preserve one's rating. Look at Garry Kasparov. Isn't he still like 2800 in classical? He must be. Let's look. Kasparov was actually recorded in a short video telling the Romanian population not to vote for a pro-Russian president.
Really?
Yeah. He recorded this in the past couple of days. And in the meantime, our presidential election results got annulled by the court. So we're gonna have to do a redo entirely.
Wow, crazy.
Crazy election interference and TikTok spam bots driving political campaigns. Okay, where the hell is Garry Kasparov's FIDE page? I want to check his rating. 28-12. He's 28-12 in classical. Obviously, he would not be able to retain this level if he was still playing.
What would you say his rating would? His true strength is right now.
Low 2700. It's like 2715 or so, maybe.
Wow, 2750. That's high.
I think 2715, like just barely above.
Oh, 15. Okay.
Yeah, just barely above 2700. I think he would be able to maintain. He's strong enough at chess for that.
So let's check something. So you're saying he would be about as strong as Richard Rapport?
About around that level, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense, I guess. I see Topalov also is 27-17.
Topalov
is also inactive.
Quite inactive, yeah. Topalov at his peak was short-lived. It was like two years or so. But Topalov at his peak was a tremendous player. Like studying Topalov's games from, let's say, I don't know, like 2005, 2006 or so. Incredible. Really, really incredible games. But then his drop-off was quite sudden.
Mm. Yeah, kind of strange, actually. He completely disappeared from top events. Like, they invited... I think he played some event that he was in clear last place by a lot of points. And then after that, they stopped inviting him or something.
I see. Yeah, and also like looking at the 2700 club, Nodirbek is currently losing 17 rating points on the next list. Wow. That's a lot of points to be lost from 2777 all the way down to 2760.
He lost to some FM, right?
He lost to Reza Mahdavi from Iran, and then followed that up with drawing a 2200.
Oh, well, okay.
And then beat Slivitska and Kielbasa back to back. It's like revenge on the Polish women.
Okay, so F4. So Mr. Gracia disagrees with Vlad here.
Oh, that was a very nice
F1.
pronunciation. That was a very good pronunciation. I like that. You have the Spanish pronunciation down. I love it.
Yeah, backstop me. He said it's correct. But yeah, so we have F4 on the board.
Nice and simple move. Yeah, horse with no name. You're making 0 sense right now, so I will gleefully and happily not read your messages on the
Yeah,
stream.
that's true what it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is about.
gave you a chance to redeem yourself. You failed. So let's conveniently ignore messages that don't make sense in the context of the conversation.
That's true though.
Hard for a horse to use a keyboard. I love it. Chris Random, that was a good one. I like that. That got more than a chuckle out of me. That was good. So Akjet, you said you have to leave in like 30 minutes or so, is that right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll leave at the same time with you then.
Okay. Let's see if Anna can conjure something up here. How to prevent the position from opening up? Good question. Eh? I mean, if you play G4, does this open up? I guess White doesn't really want to play H3. That doesn't make sense. Like to do the reverse of what we said earlier.
Yeah, probably doesn't make sense to play H3.
So, what is the plan? Like attacking the pawn on G4, maybe? Like
Yeah, I
bishop
think so.
F5 or what?
I think just putting pressure on that pawn would be good, or also preparing to break with E4 at some point, just opening up the center.
Doesn't that like, I mean, doesn't that like open also for black some ideas?
Yeah, but the
Like
black rooks are terrible and disconnected. So the rook from f8 is completely trapped. So I think when the center opens, that really makes it way more difficult for black to stop any attacks.
Okay, so you just want to blow up everything, I guess. Yeah, just E4.
Yeah. If I cannot put
E4
enough
just
pressure.
to put a queen on the king's head as well, I guess.
Yeah.
But as black, would you play G4 here? I mean,
Yes, I would play G4.
it looks kind of the only hope, right? I mean, you can't really afford to open the position right now with G takes.
Correct.
It looks very, yeah. Maybe you could, try some like King H8, Rook G8 idea, but it looks very far-fetched to work.
Yeah, I think this position is really hard to play for black. I mean, there's really no counterplay at all.
Yeah, that's why I said like maybe some knight E4 and try to sacrifice a pawn and open some diagonals for the piece or some lines. Maybe the 6th rank opens or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm really curious what will happen in this position.
Paolo lost 2 games to Vidit and 10 FIDE points was not a tournament. What tournament? Like World Cup or what?
Oh yeah, that's true. There was this tournament in London where Bodana
Right. He was there?
Yeah. He played. Topalov played against Vidit there.
Okay. And he just lost twice.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising. I mean, Topalov hasn't been working on chess.
Knight H5 also looks kind of... I mean, if it works tactically, at least. You want to take that bishop away from the board.
Knight H5 here?
Yeah, well, someone is saying in chat at least.
Knight H5, bishop to E1, and now this knight on B4 is suddenly hanging. I'm not sure that's in your favor.
Well, at least the bishop is not in the king side.
True.
You can play like a5, I guess.
But your knight will have to come back to f6 sooner or later.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you can't really. Yeah. The problem here is that this bishop on b1 is like so good, and you can never play f6 basically to kick the knight because first of all your g7 bishop is terrible, and secondly, the light squares are extremely weak. So, like knight is coming to e6, queen is coming like to d3 or something, and you're getting checkmated.
Yep, that's exactly right. The pawn already has escape squares. Wait, yeah, he meant the bishop there, I see. The opponent is already doing the leg shake, so he might not be entirely confident here. Also, hello Chaos. Welcome Chaos.
Yeah, this looks like a guy, who's very confident in his like build-up of a position, but he doesn't really. I'm not sure if he calculates that well. So maybe here is like time to muddy the water somehow, and try to force him to calculate.
He also plays the endgame slightly weaker than his other areas of the game, so maybe there is a chance for Anna in the endgame.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Do you think she'll play for something more tactical from here on?
I mean, she has to, right? If she wants to play g4, she would have played it more, like, quite quicker. Well, that's a bit of copying. She always takes her time, but I think she's like calculating some tricky idea, maybe.
Yeah, she's looking at him. She was just giving him a glance earlier, just a tiny glance there. I don't know. I feel like she will surprise us.
Yeah. That's also my feeling. Like. Okay, so she played. What did she play? Did she play a5?
A5.
Wow. Okay. That was not on my radar at all.
Yeah, A5 was not on my radar at all. Okay, A5, F takes G5, H takes G5. This is not looking pretty, folks.
Maybe she wants to play knight to H5 and, she wants to have the knight protected, or? I don't really know.
Oh, maybe she wants to play knight H5 and then take on E5 with the bishop.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Okay, at least she's making the position. I like that she's making the position complicated.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, it's always good, when. I mean, okay, let's say black would play here g takes f4. Okay, white would recapture. Like, it's like automatic. Now white has to think. And okay, he has 30 minutes. He will burn some of his time. And he might also make a mistake.
I like the way that she played here. I quite like this. So she's actually becoming more. Somehow she's becoming more confident, and he's becoming more anxious, judging from the body language.
How much time does Anna have? 23 minutes and 35 seconds, according to the website at least. And her opponent is on 30 minutes and some seconds. So they're quite close in time. And we are on move 20. So about 20 more moves until the time control, which means that there's going to be time travel fireworks in this game.
No, I actually like that she's posing him with concrete issues to solve here. So the engine may dislike this move, but as a human, I quite like the way she's posing issues to white.
Question is, if he takes, then do we take back, or do we? Is there some other idea?
I think we should really take back. Yeah, we can't allow. I don't think we can allow white to take on g5 and h6 with the same pawn.
Yeah. Okay. I thought maybe like putting the bishop on h6 or something, but yeah, our king on g8 is looking a bit sad. It's like
Yeah, our king on g6 is. Sorry, our king on the g5 on g8 is looking a bit sad. Why did I say g6? If our king was on g6, things would be even worse.
I mean, did you see the game where Anna played like king e7, king e6 in the middle game with queens on the board?
Of course, yes. It was famous game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like it's like almost if she wants to boost her stat that say doesn't care about king safety.
She's playing for the psychological tricks on her opponents. Okay, what does the engine think in this position? Is it like plus 1.8 or so? Okay. It's plus 3 with takes on g5 and putting the queen on f2. Okay.
But okay, it's like
oh, putting the queen on f2, so you have queen to f5 then attacking this pawn. Yeah, okay, I see it now. So the correct way to proceed for white would be to just take on g5 and bring the queen to f5 somehow, which is pretty much winning by force.
maybe if queen f2, then her idea is to play like knight e4 now.
So takes, queen f2, knight to e4. Yeah, but I just take twice on e4. And he's gonna take on g5 right there. She takes back immediately.
So maybe I felt like maybe something like, okay, here queen f2, knight e4, rook c1, d4, bishop e4, f5.
Rook c1 takes. Sorry. Okay, so let's go. I need to take it a bit slower. So takes. Queen f2, knight e4, knight takes e4, rook c1, rook c1.
Yeah.
Pawn takes.
Yeah, bishop takes, and f5 there. Maybe that's her idea.
But does it work?
I don't
f5?
know.
Okay, f5, bishop takes f5.
Oh, e6 is check. Okay, maybe that's more.
Yeah, I have a check on e6 there.
Okay, maybe that's more fun. Maybe e6. Maybe e6 first and then f5 then.
If he finds queen to f2 here, I'm willing to say that it's gonna be very tough to come up with any plan at all for black.
mean,
update
I don't know,
board
like-
faster. Mr. Pies, we're not in charge of updating the board. This is the DGT protocol and the organizer, so we're not in control of the board.
She doesn't look that, that in trouble for a +3 position. Like, it's kind of strange, actually.
He's reaching, I think he's reaching for the queen. He's reaching for the queen, and he's moving it to
Queen D1,
D1?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. D1. Where is the... Oh, he just wants to put it on F3? Huh. Very strange square to pick for the queen. Quite unusual. I'm not sure what the idea is.
Also blocks the rook connection the rooks.
Yeah, it's fairly unusual.
Preventing knight h5. Maybe that's why, but I mean that was not really much of a threat. Your bishop can always slide back to e1. Maybe he thought like queen f2, but this is mate, no? Like queen f2, knight h5, queen f5 is not what you want.
Yeah, that's just bad. Is
Maybe rook takes f6 is maybe his plan. Rook takes f6 and queen h5. Some kind of idea like that.
Oh, rook to f6 could be a threat here, indeed. Oh, that does spell some trouble.
I mean, if black plays a random move, then rook takes f6 wins, I think.
Yeah, okay, this is...
But black can defend it. Like queen b6, maybe.
Tactically very challenging. Yeah, queen to b6 seems like a move. But hold up. I still take. What happens if I still take? So queen b6, rook takes f6, queen takes f6, queen h5, queen h6, yeah? This is the idea, to block the access to h7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I should hold there.
So queen b6 looks like some sort of an only move then.
I'm still curious about 94 and try to go for some f5. Like 94, you trade the knights and the rooks, and then e6 and f5 maybe. Like try to somehow push the pawns there. Looks a bit strange, maybe that.
I don't think it looks strange. Seems pretty normal to try and seek counterplay that way.
Look like something my opponents would do when I'm, trying to pressure them positionally. They sacrifice a pawn and then try to make counterplay.
Also, we have a community game between Alberto and Mate currently ongoing. And of course, there was no g4 happening in that one, but rather the Alekhines defense.
Hello.
Yeah, this is gonna be exciting. Yeah, so knight to e4 or queen to b6 are two of the possible moves here.
Thinks to play 94 here. Like, surely that's why I see kind of, I don't know. Like, it looks more active. Looks like kind of the only chance to do some counterplay, maybe.
I agree with you. Let's see if she agrees with you.
If you could look like any chess piece, what do you mean? Like, how? That question would be weird. I don't know.
If you could look like any chess piece, what piece would you choose? Huh. I think I would go for a pawn, so I could have a slim midsection and a larger base. It's the opposite of the Balkan dad physique.
Yes, the inverted pawn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you can imagine Azamat Bagatov from Borat, I would like to be the opposite of that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the pawn kind of makes sense.
Yeah, well, pawn.
I mean, well, yeah, the rook is just fat. That's all. Such.
Yeah.
The knight. I mean, you don't really want to look like a horse.
I would prefer not to look
I
like
see.
a horse if I'm given the option. But that's a very good question. What about you, Akchet? What, you also want to be a pawn?
I guess. I mean, yeah. Well. Wait, I'm not thinking. Wait a minute. The pawns. Yeah, I just realized the online pieces look different than over the board. So let me think about that as well. I mean, yeah, I guess maybe a king as well. So it's a bit older, you know.
Okay, king. That's reasonable. Also, fly you fools! I see that you're trying to cosplay some journalists here from the Singapore World Championship match, but I'm not Ding to talk
Wait,
about ice cream.
Did they actually ask that? They actually really asked that.
They asked something about the meme with Ding chilling, and then Ding was like, "What does chill mean?" I cannot believe somebody who hangs out with Richie Rapport on a daily basis will ask stuff like, "What does chill mean?"
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit strange. This interview is always.
Do you melt easily? Yes. When Fly You Fools is typing such sweet words, I melt very easily. Or when I see the birds opening, or the Karo Khan. When I see the bird or the Karo, I melt. When I see the exchange Slav, I freeze.
Are you popularizing the birds opening among your students as well? Just so they, future students know what to expect then. Okay.
No, I just, I recommend that everybody picks their own openings and then we work on refining them. I never tell them what to play. So they pick what to play.
So they mostly play normal openings, at least.
Yeah, I mean, the ones who like to play more classical openings select classical main lines, and the ones who are more adventurous, I think the most adventurous student right now is playing some King's Gambit against e5 and some Mora Gambit against c5.
Oof. Wow.
So King's Gambit and Mora in classical, I told him, hey, do it at your own risk, but he's having some good success with it.
I mean, if he knows it, it's actually quite dangerous because, yeah, I mean, yeah, there are some courses like Nepos course, I guess.
Yes, yeah, he has that. He has that, and he's playing the lines from there. Yeah, so I don't try to impose my views on openings on anybody else.
I mean, like, I think of you like as a kind of an opening expert, at least for like your playing strength. Like I wouldn't say like most of the 2000s know that much about openings like you do.
Thank you. I think that's an accurate assessment, but thank you.
But you play an opening that is worse than move one. It's very strange.
I mean, it's only for short time controls.
Oh, okay, you don't play it in classical, okay.
I haven't played it in classical since coming back from my short-lived retirement.
Okay. Okay, so Anna proved us wrong. She did not go for 94. Maybe she doesn't want to give a pawn just yet. So she played
She gave a look to the camera there. She was not happy.
It's like,
Yeah.
what is this position? Queen b6.
Queen b6. What to do? What to do?
Can someone who sees the stream confirm the times? Because I think it's glitched on the website. It says that both players have 15 minutes, but surely he has more, right?
Yeah,
Is
just
it over?
24
Okay.
minutes or so.
Okay. But still, okay. He should go to time pressure, I guess. So how to continue here for white? Queen to f3? Or what?
Yeah, queen to f3. Queen to f3 followed by queen to f5 maybe. The lack of counterplay for black in this
It's hard to,
game.
because the thing is g5 is hanging. So how do you protect that even?
GM solver, nice and simple. Rook f6 doesn't work yet.
Yeah, that's why we played queen b6.
Yeah. Queen b6 was defending against this dangerous idea.
Yeah, queen f3 and it's getting really hard to too much. So now your knight, the e4 square is protected 3 times. So also, if your queen is on f5, you have some ideas like knight d7 maybe. Some tactics or
That's too sophisticated. That is way too sophisticated.
imagine your queen is on f5, then you play like knight cd7, threatening checkmate.
Uh-huh.
That's your win, right?
Oh. But hold up. I take with bishop.
I take the other knight.
You take the other. And you don't have time for rook takes c1 because I check you on f6 and mate you.
Yeah. So I guess that's his kind of idea. That's why he played queen d1.
Yeah, I think fly you fools. The counting there is a bit wrong. In your calculation, there's some miscounted piece.
Wait, what is he doing? He's
H4.
Okay, h4. Wow,
What?
okay.
Wait, what? Strange move. Very strange move. That's losing a clear tempo, no?
Why would you trade the pawn instead of winning it? That's my question.
Well, I guess he just wants to attack. He just wants to attack on f6 and not allow queen takes on f6 at the end. That's actually quite clever, somehow. Huh. It's actually not so bad at all. H4 is really asking some tough questions. This guy is playing well.
But what is the plan? Like g4? Did something change? Or do you want to play h5 or what?
Well, G. Can I not take if you push g4?
Take what?
The pawn.
Take the... Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Well, then 94, and again, it's... I like that the 6th rank is opening. We can maybe bring our queen to the defense or something. Well, maybe we sacrificed a bit too much though. Because we'll be down 2 pawns.
And also, for those of you in the chat wondering, the opponent is a boy by the name Hugo. So, just so there is no
I mean, Hugo is a
misgendering.
male name, so
Yes,
why
it's a
would they
very
want
normal
to-
male name.
No, is he an Uber driver? I'm not sure they allow that's a young Uber drivers. But maybe because of his name, we will make an exception or something.
I'm impressed with his positional play. I mean, for such a young kid to play such a, like, how to say, old man style chess, it's quite impressive.
True. Yeah.
He's just putting his pieces on good squares and applying pressure and not going for any actual tactics yet.
Yeah. It's almost like White is the 25-year-old and Black
Yeah.
the 40-year-old.
It's like White is just making these strong moves, asking tough questions, and turning the screws little by little. He would be a good sparring partner to train this part of the game, like not making weaknesses and not pushing pawns too much. And yeah, he has shown a high level of understanding in this game so far. I'm actually positively impressed. But who knows? Maybe Anna has some tricks up her sleeve.
No? I'm not a big fan of H4 though. Like, it looks kind of strange. I don't know. It also weakens the White King, right? Somewhat, at least.
For sure, yeah, it does. It does.
Like, imagine if a queen lands on H6, then it could have some threats, maybe. Although maybe that's not very possible, I don't know.
Well, sadly, I must depart very shortly.
Yeah, same. I'm just hoping that that Anna can find like some idea and I can leave and say, oh, at least I can do this. It's
Yeah.
no, it's okay though. You can leave. I'll leave like 5 minutes maybe.
All right. Well, I'll leave you with the rest of chat then. Thanks everybody for joining us. Of course, you can keep rooting for Anna-Maja. We want her to swindle her opponent from this position. But sadly, I do have to depart now. So
Okay.
bye chat and bye Akjet.
Thank you for being here with me, and yeah, see you some other time.
No problem. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Okay. Thanks to Vlad for co-commentating, I guess. And yeah, I'll also probably leave in a bit. Maybe I'll stay for like one more move, or let's see. So, but it's looking tough here. It is looking tough. Who is going to commentate then? I'm not sure. Don't think we have any mods here, so probably just going to leave you guys with the board, sadly. Yeah, let's hope that Anna can find some kind of play. As Vlad said, like the opponent has been playing quite impressively so far. Like his positional play is definitely not to be underestimated. And Anna's also about 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Can't see clearly with this stream quality. What is this? My internet probably. But it looks like 8 something. Yeah, I mean, we don't have control of the board anyway, so we try to not overdo it with the arrows and variations, because Anna's also, recapping the games. So yeah, we just few moves is okay, but we try not to really analyze the position very deeply. It's just a chill commentary mostly to hang out with it. And the opponent seems more close to I am. I mean, it's just, I think why he seems so strong is that this is exactly his type of game. Like if it was some kind of sharp, like let's say if Anna had been white, I'm not sure what this guy plays with black, but I think the situation would have been much different, because this is exactly the type of game that he enjoys, like this kind of locked center, improving the pieces, and then breaking through finally on the. Since you call knight horses, I sometimes do. I mean, yeah. Do we know that this guy's generally a positional strategic player? So there is this new feature on ChessBase 18 that's called a style analysis, I believe, or something like that. And basically, if you join Discord, we use that on Anna's opponents every game to figure out like their style, and it's quite useful so far, I think, to get a feeling like how the opponent plays. So Anna has gone for knight e4. Finally, may I add? I like this move. It opens up the 6th rank, and it also blocks the diagonal that that white wanted to checkmate. So yeah, that's a good move. It looks like she's putting some questions to her opponent, and yeah, let's see. Let's hope he kind of makes a mistake. And the position is still strategically winning for white, but at least Anna is playing actively, trying to pose questions and trying to make counterplay. I like it. Why is 94 good? So as I said, first of all, white is always threatening to take that knight off the board with rook takes f6 or stuff like knight d7, some kind of tactic, because that knight is defending h7. So if you imagine white wants to bring a queen on h5 in checkmate. Oh no, looks like, okay, camera is back. Looks like it's back. So yeah, white also white always had these rook takes f6 ideas to checkmate on the large square. So now with 94, we block this diagonal of the bishop, so there are no checkmate ideas. We also attack a lot of white's pieces. So we attack the knight, we attack the bishop. Basically, we're forcing white's hand. That's white's. It's an active defensive move, basically. Like instead of putting all your pieces back and defending, she's trying to find some counter attack, which is probably her best hope in this position. Also opens up the f pawn, which might be a key idea later. Like we might want to push the pawn to f5. Probably not to f6. That will block our bishop. But e6 and f5 is maybe a plan. So yeah, that's why this is a good move. Yeah, let's see. He's also down to 20 minutes. So there is hope. There is hope here. I think that all 3 results are still possible. And yeah, unfortunately, I also have to go in a very short while. So I guess you're stuck with a silent stream unless some mob returns or something. But yeah, at least you know Anna's position is still good, so it will be an exciting game from here on, I would say. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. Thank you everyone for being here, and make sure to stay. I don't know. You can put this on the background or something, but make sure to stay. It will be an exciting game. I'll be sure to check it when I have time. And yeah, that's it for me. See you some other time maybe. I'm not sure if tomorrow, but yeah. Take care, guys. And yeah, let's cheer Anna on. See you guys. Good night.